AM 1460, the new WXBR. Peter Czymbor and Mike Pava still here with you on a Wednesday morning. Remember, you can live chat and follow along with our program on Twitter. At PM in the AM Boston is our Twitter handle. Make sure you like us on Facebook, PM in the AM Metro South Morning Show. And the best place to hear archived interviews and segments from the show is on our official YouTube channel at youtube.com/PM in the AM Boston. For the past, must be quarter century or so, a tradition in the city of Brockton each fall and spring for children ages 4 to 14, I believe, at DW Fields Park every morning, or every Saturday morning. It's the Kids Road Races, and joining me now in studio to discuss the Kids Road Races is the man who has put his blood, sweat, and tears into organizing the Kids Road Races for many years. It is Mr. Dave Gorman, former champion of the city of Brockton per the Enterprise years ago. Dave, good morning.
Good morning, Peter. How are we doing?
We're doing well. Dave, how many years have you been doing the Kids Road Races at this point?
I think it's about 36.
30, so I was way off by saying a quarter of century, 11 years plus the quarter century.
Yeah. It's a long time.
That's a long time. What got you started doing the Kids Road Races, for those who don't know?
Actually, I had a playground job. Years ago in Brockton, they had the playgrounds. It was a summer program, and I don't know, an old Brocktonian, Harry Allen, was in charge of it. And he was going to be the cross-country coach at Brockton High. And I just graduated. I had a job at the playgrounds. And he decided they wanted to do a kid road race in the park. And so he grabbed me to do it. And we did it like on a Wednesday morning. I think it was probably 1964, 65. And so we did it for that year, and we did another year. And then it stopped, and then it came back as a community program that Jerry Conifrey had. I think it's probably started in the early 70s, and it's still going now, and it's 2013. So
what has kept you going for 36 years doing this Kids Road Races each and every Saturday morning during the fall and the spring?
No one else will do it. I think that's it. I don't know. It's a habit, and I enjoy doing it, and I don't know. I have seen it progress, and I'm talking to you, and you know what it's about because you used to be one of my runners.
I ran hundreds of those races as a kid growing up.
I think the first time you ran was about 8 years old. What are you, 26 now?
26 now. I was actually 10 because I was in the D division. I remember.
And you had to run with your little brother.
And I ran with my little brother.
Yeah.
And he was in the
6 and under or something like that.
Yeah, he would have been 8 at the time, whatever division he was in.
And I got to know your father and mother pretty good. And I guess what your father grabbed me one day and said, your brother Will was a little timid. And when he started running, he started to get confidence. He said, you wouldn't believe what your program did for this little kid when he won his first ribbon. And I don't know, you were around. It must have did something for him.
I was running the first Kids Road Race that him and I both ran, and I was always more athletic than him in the family. And I remember there's that point during the race where there's, sort of a gathering of a crowd right before you hit Tower Hill. And I remember running and, seeing, my dad and some people, and I looked back, and I mean, probably about 200 yards away, I saw this kid in blue shorts and a bright orange T-shirt. I'm like, wow, Will's actually not too far behind, and he actually took to running and did quite well at it and continued on with cross-country well into high school. So,
yeah, and, and when you were back running, it was sort of crazy. If I had 40 or 50 runners, I was doing pretty good. In the last few years, these kid road races have taken off like I can't believe. It's nuts up there.
Once again, we're chatting with Dave Gorman, the organizer for the Kids Road Races, which kicks off its season this Saturday at DW Fields Park in Brockton. Why don't you tell the folks who may not know how to get involved, where and when you meet, and what exactly the plan of action is for this Saturday?
All right, we're going to start Saturday morning, was it September 7th, I believe?
Yes, it
September
is.
7th, and we're going to run for 8 weeks. The ideal time is to get to the park about 9:30. We got to register you, and we put a number on all the kids. And then we'll try and start the race at 10. Probably the first week we're a little bit behind because we have so many kids now. And we're out of there by 11, 10 past 11. And it's not a bad deal for an hour and a half. You can do something with your kids and something, and it's out of there. And the most important thing, I think, is it's affordable for the people of the city.
It costs $1, right?
$1. I mean, you can't do anything. I don't think we can get a Coke for $1 anymore.
No, it's $1.25.
Okay. So it's a great, affordable thing. And what I find now is with this problem with obesity, juvenile diabetes, this is a perfect thing for your kids. And it's a perfect thing for the parents who want to run with the kids. I let the parents run with the kids who the younger kids, and after a while. And we have I think the most I had last year, I think I got up to 185 on the race, which is unbelievable for a $1 race. Plus, I probably had another 50 parents running with their kids. So we're talking about 235, 240 people running. That's a big road race.
Once again, we're chatting with Dave Gorman here on AM 1460, the new WXBR, talking about the kids' road races, which begins this Saturday. Race begins at 10 a.m. You might want to get there a little early to register between 9 and 9:30 at DW Fields Park in the Pentacle parking lot, if I'm not mistaken.
Right.
That's where you meet. It's a 2.2-mile race, open to kids ages, 4 to 14?
4 to 14.
If a 3-year-old wants to run, you're going to let them run, though, right?
No, they got to run with their mother or father.
Run with their mother or father.
Yeah.
So it can work out. It's a 2.2-mile race. It is good for the kids from a health perspective. It is very affordable, as you mentioned. And 36 years in, you're still going strong. What should we expect this Saturday? How many kids are we expecting?
I don't know. Well, I do a registered online. Our website is kidroadraces.org. So if anybody wants to register online, they can register online. And when I'm doing that is just to speed up my first day, because once you register for a year. I mean, for the 8-week series. So you only have to sign up that one time, sign the thing, pay your $1, and then just come every following week and just tell us your number. We'll write it down. So the first week, everything is done by hand because there's no electricity in the park. So we do have a computer, but with no electricity, we got to do it afterwards. So everything is done by hand. We write ribbons out and stuff like that. And so it does get confusing with that many runners coming in.
We mentioned that the kids' road race season starts this Saturday. It is a full season. It will be going on every Saturday from this Saturday until the next 8 weeks, every Saturday morning at DW Fields Park. The kids are broken down into divisions based on their age, and there's a point system so that kids win ribbons each and every week for first, second, third, fourth, and fifth. Then at the end of the season, the top runners throughout the entire duration of the season win trophies and whatnot at a big banquet you guys throw.
Yeah, in the fall we give the kids trophies. What I got a rule now that you have to run five or more races to qualify for a trophy and a T-shirt. And we usually have a pizza party at the end of the season, and so all the kids are pretty happy. But I had to break down to 5 races. But if you only run 5 races, you only pay $5. It's costing me probably about $20 per kid to run it. So I just couldn't give everybody a T-shirt that didn't really qualified for one. I couldn't afford it.
And the way that your point system breaks down, you probably wouldn't even be eligible to qualify for a trophy having just run 5 of 8 races, the way it all breaks down anyways.
Right. But it's just that, the trophies cost you money and the T-shirts cost you money and that stuff. So we're on a tight budget for $1. It's kind of hard, and the more kids, when we had 40 or 50 could do it. Now we got close to 170. I averaged 170 kids running last spring. That's 170 T-shirts minimum and 170 trophies. So it's probably $8 or $9 a kid, $10 a kid. Plus we got to buy insurance.
And we should mention how does everyone get a trophy? Well, the top winners win the real trophies. Then the kids who didn't qualify for trophies get participant trophies, which are significantly smaller.
Right. We figure we'd like to give the kids, if they run 8 weeks or 5 weeks, a reward for doing it. And little kids like trophies. They really like trophies. And so I think that's the highlight of the 8-week series is a little guy getting his first trophy.
Once again, we're chatting with Dave Gorman here on AM 1460, the new WXBR. A few weeks back, we had your son, Kevin Gorman, on the program, who runs Level Runner magazine, and he helped organize, I think with some assistance from you, a road race held at the professional level at DW Fields Park a few weeks back. How did that venture go for him?
Actually went pretty good for the first time. We had 120 finishes. And I think for the first time, anybody, probably the fastest 10K ever ran in Brockton, this guy, Ruben Sanchez, I think that's his name, ran under 5 minutes a mile. He ran 29, I think 54, which is a fantastic time. And it was first time. We're happy. We got 120 runners, first time running. I think everybody loved the park. We had people from all over New England running. We had people from all over New England and 4 people from Brockton, and we're right in their hometown.
And you were telling me off air that a significant amount of people participated in this race kept saying to themselves or saying out loud to others, I can't believe this park is in Brockton.
Yeah, that's the whole thing. They said, this is a jewel. This park is fantastic. And I tell you what, Tim Carpenter did a good job. He had it cleaned up. It was, the tower looked beautiful. The lawns were cut. And the people said it was August kind of hot. And it's like running through a tunnel with the trees, the water. I mean, we got rave reviews on what a beautiful place it is to run.
And the thing is, you've had this 2.2-mile race mapped out for 36 years. Now you actually have a 10K race mapped out, which you had to scrutinize, I suppose, with the detail. So you guys have multiple courses within DW Fields Park for future road races.
And it's wheel measured, and we're going to get it certified. That means that all your championships, if you set a record, it's stable because it's exactly wheel measured and certified by the USA Track and Field.
I mentioned this to your son Kevin when he was on the air. About 100 years ago, there actually was a marathon as a part of the festivities at the Brockton Fair. What's the possibility in the future, maybe not a marathon, but something of more significance in terms of road racing takes place in Brockton, a la the Falmouth 7-mile race or something in that vein?
What we got in Brockton that nobody has, we don't think, is DW Fields Park. You don't have to shut traffic down. You can close the traffic off. You need minimal police. There's only like 2 corners. We can keep the gates closed in the park. Really safe. You don't have to pay the money for police or whatever because we don't need many. It's just a beautiful place to run. The only thing that's handicapped about the park is there's not really restrooms, so we have to get porta potties, and the more people you get, the more porta potties you can rent. So I think they cost about $150 a piece. So that would eat up your profits and stuff like that. But outside of that, we had 2. The park department got them for us, which was great, through Linda Belzotti, the mayor's office. And Linda came up, and I think she was impressed because I don't think anybody that doesn't follow a road race that don't realize what the caliber of runners we had in the park. It was fantastic. And
he mentioned just Olympians and whatnot participating in this event.
Right. There was 1 Olympian and the Division II cross-country champion. The women's field they had a couple of women that were real good that finished 3rd in Falmouth and pretty good runners, real good runners.
I have to assume the Olympian won the race?
Yes, he did, but he came on in the last mile to pull ahead. But they were going neck and neck.
So it was a very competitive outing.
Oh, it was. I was in the lead car, and it was really exciting. And you do a kids race, you can stop and talk to someone for a minute. You couldn't stop with these guys. These guys kept going. I mean,
you had to speed up.
We lost them. Where the hell are they? We got to go.
You had to hope that you got enough gas at some point because you were driving so fast.
And the secret, and they ran Tower Hill 3 times.
As part of the course?
As part of the course.
So it wasn't just Tower Hill as that last hurrah up until the finish line?
No, they ran the small loop. They started off at the gate at the park, so they ran up the Tower Hill 1 time. They did the kids loop. They come around. They ran up a 2nd time. Then they did the big loop, and where they had to come down to run through the parking lot down by the gate on Oak Street to make it a 10K, and they finished coming up the hill. So and it was funny that we had a wheelchair guy there, and we asked him what's he need for a head start. He said, just give me 2 minutes. I said, there's a hill there. He says, no, I only need 2 minutes. I said, okay. I said, you look at the hill? He said, yeah, I only need 2 minutes. Well, he got 2 minutes. I took off with Eric Smith, the police officer there, in the lead car. We get halfway up the hill, and this guy's coming back down. He's going sideways. He can't get up this hill. And then there's 120 people coming pounded at him, And he finished the race, but he had to do that Tower Hill 3 times in a wheelchair. So he was hurting.
Once again, we're chatting with Dave Gorman here on AM 1460. The new WXBR Kids Road Races get underway this Saturday at DW Fields Park in Brockton. Dave, one of my favorite events in Brockton year in, year out that you organize is the annual Jingle Bell Run, which takes place every year in December. What's on tap for the Jingle Bell Run, if anything, this far out for 2013?
Well, we do have a date. I think it's the first Saturday. I think it's December 7th or 8th. It's a Saturday. We're at Massasoit College again. Last year it sort of rained on us, and it wasn't what I expected. I think we took in we made $14,000, and $14,000 went to the Enterprise Helping Hands Fund. It was off about $3,000 from the previous year, at $3,000 or $4,000. This is the first year I went backwards instead of forwards, and I blame a lot of things on it. I blame the rain, and then I'm competing for sponsors with the holiday parade, the Santa hat thing, and a lot of different events in Brockton that are going on. I think everybody has an event, and what happens is I think I started too late last year. I started about 3 weeks before the race. I was waiting for the Enterprise to help me with a flyer, and things got backed up. So we got off to a late start, and I think if it doesn't improve this year or do any better, I think it might be the last year in doing it. I've been doing it for 15 years. It's a lot of work and a lot of competition out there trying to hustle the money. And the difference is when I do an event, I think you agree, you probably know this, Peter, 100% of the proceeds we get goes to the charity. And not too many races if anybody can say that. And this Helping Hands Fund really benefits some real needy people in the city that need fuel assistance, they need food, they need a lot of stuff for kids for Christmas, toys and stuff. And it's just getting tougher and tougher and tougher to do it. And and it's a lot of work, and we got to make more than $14,000 because $14,000 just doesn't go that far.
You say that you do the kids' road races every spring and fall out of habit. Something tells me that out of habit every December you're going to continue doing the Jingle Bell Run no matter what you say.
Probably. But last year I was a little aggravated, and it's a lot of stress trying to better yourself from year to year and try and get a sponsor, and this one doesn't sponsor you because it's sponsoring something else in the city and stuff like that. And I just don't know. There's a lot of big businesses in Brockton that really should be supporting this. The Chamber of Commerce should be supporting it. We got 3 great big hospitals in Brockton, employ thousands of people, and they should be supporting it. And nobody came from them hospitals, and nobody. If it wasn't for people I knew from my old kid road races and people I hustled, I don't know what would really take off. But we're trying, and if it doesn't do any better this year, I think we're just going to pack it in because Massasoit is nice. They give us a place for free of charge, and we just got to support things. And I think Brockton has a hard time supporting their own events. I mean, we did a real class event in the park with Kevin's Level Runner Road Race, and we only attracted 120 people. And out of the 120, it should have been about 320, 350. And we got this stigma about Brockton. People are scared to come to Brockton and stuff like that. And it really isn't bad. There's some great stuff happening in Brockton. Everybody saw that park, and they fell in love with it, and it's a great place to run. And I don't know. We just got to get more people involved and more businesses involved to help us out. And this could really be a great, great big event. And you, I think, been following it. I think you did the first Jingle Bell Run. We did it out of the garage down in the parking garage.
I remember.
I think we had about 70 people, or not even 70. I don't know, it was 50 or something. And then the next year we got a little bigger. Every year it has gotten bigger. and bigger until last year. I don't know if it was the rain or too many people looking for money or whatever. It really didn't do as well as it should have. And it's a great event. We don't charge the kids. Everybody can. There's all kinds of prizes. There's food. We got a band there. We got Santa Claus there, and it's just, I don't know why people don't. They should support it and they don't. I don't know if it's a big rain cloud holding over this Brockton or what, but it's got to take off. A lot of people are gonna, the Enterprise Helping Hands. I think they only brought in about 60 or 70,000, and we brought in 25% of that money, and I just need it to do a little bit better. And if it doesn't, I don't know if it's worth my time or anybody else's time to try and hustle it.
Well, we mentioned earlier that your son had his first organized road race a few weeks back in the park, which you helped him out with quite a bit. He could take over the family business, if you will, at some point. He could become the new road race organizational guru within the South Shore.
I don't know. It's a lot of work, and he had a couple young kids, and he lives in Norwood. And I don't think people realize how much is involved. Like my kid road races, I'm doing that on reputation now. Everybody knows about it. Okay, I got, when you go from 40 or 50 kids to 170, 180, we're doing something right up there. And I want to stress, these are not just Brockton people. These are people from all over the South Shore. We got them as far as Walpole, Hopkinton, Buzzards Bay, Hingham, Scituate.
When I ran, there was a kid every week that would beat me by about a minute from Worcester.
Stephen Jimmy.
Was that his name?
Yep.
There you go. I didn't remember his name.
Yeah, he came down from Worcester every week to run in my kid races. There's kids that came. I got a great runner from Lexi Vanderloff from Hingham. She's a real good runner. Just got this kid Kevin Fisher from Hingham. We got this kid Tyler Sullivan from Walpole. And, the Brockton kids hang in there. We got Mia Otero from Brockton. She'll give him a run for the money, and if not, beat him. We got the Dunbury girl. She'll give him a run. We got some real good runners in the park, and the kids that are running. And I think that's what keeps me going. I think I tell everybody, they ask me why I do it, and I think by working with kids, they keep you young. They're not talking about their ailments and what medicine they're taking. It's just, I have a hell of a time up there when I'm up there with the kids on Saturday morning for the 2 or 3 hours I'm up there with them. And we can see the kids grow. I seen you run from an 8-year-old to a 14. I seen your brother go from 6 to 14. So I have people up there for 10 or 12 years. Your mother and father still help me. And you tell me you're 26, so you ran it when you're 8. So they've been helping me for 18 years.
Yeah.
Okay. I got Paul and Doreen Hill, who's their kids stopped running. I think they got 3 or 4 grandchildren now. And I got the 2 oldest volunteers in America. I got Burt Grimaldi and Eddie Grimaldi, who used to have a TV store across the street from here, and they're 87, 86. They come up to help me every week because they want to work with the kids. They work at Connor and stuff like that. To do the kid road races it's so easy when you get people like your parents, the Hills, because I don't actually have to tell anybody to do anything. They just know their job, and they just fan out and do it. You don't have to double check. Peter Duvall, he's up there every week.
He's a character.
He's a character. He brings about four or five people. I never see him. He goes out. He sets up a water stop. He puts everybody with a vest for his helpers to make sure the kids are safe. At the end, he brings a grill to cook the kids hot dogs and stuff like that. I got like a cult following. I think you can call it a cult. I don't know if you can call it a cult or not, but I got people that really believe in what we're doing in the park. And my wife, she's great. I've been there 36 years. She's been up there every week with me for 36 years. We missed 2 races in 36 years, and it was when my kids were graduating from college, and I was going to try and make it, but they were graduating, and I had to go. She said, "You got to go." So I went to their graduation. I even made it when the kids were running First Communion. The First Communion started at 11. The race is at 10. I said, "We can make it," and we made it. It was Our Lady of Last Church. We made it, and there's just so many great memories, great kids, and great families, and people that really will help you. Like if I have I'm getting worried about the cost of the kid races because, when we had 100 kids or 50 or 60 kids, it was easy to do. And now we got, 100. Like last year, we had over 300 kids running. So that means your expenses like triple, and I don't want to raise it because that's what I've been going on for years. Is keeping affordable for the families.
Do you get any help from sponsors for the kids' road races?
Yeah, I do. I get a grant from the DA's office with Timmy Cruz, who's great. New Balance, they help me out by it's not they give me like the numbers, and they donate 30 pairs of sneakers for the needy kids and stuff like that. So it's a bonus, And I got Frank Caswell of Frank's Restaurant in Brockton, who's one of the best guys in the world. You walk in there, he says, "What you got going? Do you need hot dogs? Do you need this?" He usually comes up with stuff. He always comes up with stuff that I need. And it's a guy you don't have to ask; they ask you, and that's what I got that sort of reputation, because everybody really likes working with kids, or really likes working with kids, or helping out kids. And I think my reputation is that when you give me $1, the kids are getting $1. I'm not taking 50 cents on it. I'm not taking 90 cents on it. The whole dollar is going to the kid road races.
Well, we will urge anyone out there listening who has children between the ages of 4 and 14 in Brockton or in surrounding communities or even beyond surrounding communities to bring them down to the Kids Road Races this Saturday morning. Registration between 9 and 9:30. Race starts at 10. The kids will run a 2.2-mile road race. It will be the beginning of the season. For the next 8 weeks, they can do this. It's good for their health. It's good for their self-esteem, good for their confidence, and it's good for you to have something for them to do on Saturdays. Dave, we are slightly overdue for a local news update with Mike Pava. Any final words for our listeners before I let you go?
Yeah, if you can, get on our website, kidroadraces.org, and try and register before, don't do it Saturday morning, like Friday night or something, so I can put you in our computer system so things will work a little bit quicker on Saturday. And if you know anybody that would like to give us a sponsor or make a donation, we're always open for that, and you're going to help out some kids.
That's Dave Gorman, organizer of the Kids Road Races, which gets underway this Saturday morning at DW Fields Park in Brockton. You're listening to the Metro South Morning Show, PM in the AM. Peter Czymbor and Mike Pava here with you on this Wednesday morning. We're going to step aside for a quick break. Mike Pava joins us from the WXBR newsroom. Stick with us.